It's Friday, December 19th, 2025, and we're going to talk about a full moon, well, a new moon at step 28 Capricorn to Sagittarius. See, I'm all over the map. A live show if you don't know, but we are managing today our dreams, our personal dreams, and we're going to talk about personal dreams. Plus, we have some on-camera readings we're going to do. We have people who've already purchased the spots. We're super happy to meet them. First one's named Mary. We'll talk to her soon. And one of my best friends in life, Gary Lightman, is here from Human Garage. We're going to talk about light workers in progress. All that and more on SiriusJoy Alive. SiriusJoy Academy is now offering gift certificates called Gifted Scholarships in 6-month, 9-month, and 1-year increments. This is the first time we've ever offered this. SiriusJoy is the most accurate astrology service in the world. And now you can stun your loved ones with a spiritual mirror that helps them every day. Visit SiriusJoy.academy to make your purchase. That's SiriusJoy.academy. Available now. Hi, friends. Welcome. Yay, it's Friday. I'm so glad. This week's been really tough, man, because we have been busting our you-know-what to get this show live, and we're happy with it. Thank you for coming yesterday, everyone. Thanks for all of your wonderful comments. Please tell your friends. We are starting a re-evolution here. We're going to put some happiness in the afternoons. That's the whole joy here. Serious Joy is here to bring some serious joy and have some fun. And I'm talking to myself here because I want to have more fun with this stuff, too. It has been an intense week, guys, has it not? We end with a new moon at step 28 happening here in Sagittarius. And this is going to be really the opportunity of your dreams. I'm not kidding. I mean, the astrology shows this. In fact, it was just so destined yesterday that we came on the air and we had a great turnout, by the way. I think we had a lot of fun. People had a high vibration. And that's the vibe you needed to be yesterday. You need to be that when the sun crossed the galactic center. But we need to continue that happiness again today. And we're going to do just that. So every day we're kind of winging it. We are totally live streaming to all of our formats everywhere. So wherever you watch us, hi, hello to you. Please comment somewhere under the show so the algorithm picks us up a little bit. We are trying to hijack the algorithm here and get things moving for the new era. We're mostly interested in really being on the air and staying on the air through this next transition. We have a great awakening happening, bigger than the one we've had even so far next year. And we have a lot of resources dedicated to being there for you on the sidelines. We kind of want to be the news team that covers the awakening. So this is what we'll always meet every afternoon, 5 days a week. And we'll put those notes up there for you too on the screen. Some little announcements here, some housekeeping. Guess what? There is no Namaste Today live tonight. That's right. The show is now moving to Sundays. Sundays, it will be at 8 Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, every Sunday night now. And if you're a SiriusJoy subscriber, you will be able to watch it as early as Saturday morning, which is tomorrow morning. So that's how we're going to sort of make it more fair. We're going to come out Sunday nights for the general public and Saturday mornings for subscribers. So it's a bonus to be a subscriber to SiriusJoy. We're also moving other things. Astral Mingle. Astral Mingle will play tonight. We're going to play that show tonight. We got a great episode for you coming after the end of this show. But starting tomorrow on Saturday nights, we'll now have Astral Mingle and we will have LOL debuting late Saturday nights. That's right. We're making it into a drinking game. And we're going to have fun doing it too. So we're trying new areas where we want to kind of squat where people hang out on their phone anyways. And we just want to spend time with you and spend time hearing what you're going through in your lives and whatnot. So hello to everyone. Let me just see some comments on the screen. Hello, Christina. Salty Mama's here. Oh, awesome. Lots of great people. Y'all, we have moderators in the chat. If you ever have a question, you can find out. And if you have a question you'd like to have answered, as in a psychic question, well, gosh golly, why don't you? We have the ability for you to actually post and purchase a question to be answered. We have 3 varieties, basically. Use this barcode on the screen. And this is helping us to raise money for SiriusJoy, by the way. We are trying to get to the next level, and we don't want to do it from borrowing money from capitalist banks. We want to do it from our own subscribers and viewers, and this is like a nice trade. A lot of people are waiting for a reading from me, and sometimes you just need an answer, just one little answer. I am very good, I'll say. I'm very sharp. And what we'll do is we'll take your date of birth. We'll either answer one question you get by text, or one question and a follow-up question through the chat by text, or you can actually spend a little more and you can be on camera with me for 15 minutes. That's huge. We're going to gab about anything you want, including your chart, and that'll be at the end of the show. So if we sell out today, don't worry, it rollovers tomorrow, and we can help you pick dates that will be better for you. So sometimes just good to get on the roster and purchase your time, because once you do, it's yours and no one's going to take it from you. So it's a great thing. And we also sell videos. You can have a video of it made and sent to you. So we'll make a video and send it to you. So you have like a copy of it, like a little memoir. It's kind of a little cute little thing, right? But back in the day. So we have a great show tonight, but I want to actually, because of the time, I want to get straight to our first reading, because we have Gary on for almost an hour tonight at 5. He's been traveling the world with Human Garage. If you're not familiar, many people who watch our show watch Human Garage. I do a show with Human Garage on Mondays with Ra, and him and I co-star. We talk about stuff. So we're really close to the Human Garage, and Gary and I both started our visions on the same time, about 12 years ago, 13 really. And so it's always interesting for us to come together and talk and compare notes from two leaders of light. But first, why don't we get on to our first reading, shall we? Hello. That was quick.
Hi.
How are you? Hello, Mary. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So tell us, as I'm pulling up your chart and trying to play everything at once here, what's going on in your life that sets you up for this, just generically speaking, without giving away too much?
Wow. So I am, I don't know. I want to say that in 2012, I started sort of down the spiritual path.
Yeah, okay.
Things have just I'm in the corporate world, but I am feeling called to do something. And I guess that's kind of the questions, a couple of the questions that I put in there. Just I've been doing a lot of spiritual travel. I've had some awakenings, some things that, leads me to believe that I'm just meant to be doing something other than my corporate job.
And without disclosing anything that's improper, what is your corporate job per se?
Sales.
Okay, so yeah, wow. Yeah. Okay, yeah, selling a product
So
you didn't make.
Yeah.
Yeah, selling a product you didn't make. That's always fun.
Well,
right?
it's actually commercial real estate. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
yeah.
Excellent. So let me just see to make sure we have the questions correct. I have them here. Okay, so let's see. What is your first question specifically? If you don't remind me, I'm going to actually go. I'm going to go. Oh, is it right? It's on the screen. Never mind. Here we go. This is why they pay me the big bucks right here. Here we go. Sorry. Here we go. So we're new at this. All right. We now have her on screen. Question 1. I feel in between worlds with my corporate daily life and spiritual life, where I've had many inexplicable spiritual experiences. I'm told I'm a psychic, teacher, healer. What am I being called to do? Okay, that's a great question. And a lot of people have this question. So Mary, we're so grateful for you to be here and tell us this. Well, first of all, there's a lot to look at. We'll first talk about what the signs are. Here are the signs. First of all, 7 is spirit. So spirit is I sense, is Neptune, is Pisces. It is step 7. It is all people with a 7-degree rising and a, I guess that'd be the next 7, but the two different ones, step 25 and step 16. So 16 and 25 degree risings are all 7s. The 7 here shows you are aiming literally to have, first of all, in a past life, it looks like you were some sort of a beloved spiritual figure. And so you were loved and you were placed there, it feels like by divine right of blood rights. So I feel like you were in the right family at the right time. It feels Egyptian or something close to Atlantis energy is what it feels like. And you were sort of worshipped for being the daughter of, right? And so, but you did reach true spiritual perfection in the sense of you were one with your spirit. You did shed your ego. We know that because that's a 7 Leo. So one of the purest divine connections is Leo 7 because it's the heart and God together. You can't get any more, righteous than that. And it does show you that, yes, it's time for you. The North Node says, yes, you are to aim directly for this, to bring back and resurrect this person, this character, so to speak, mixed with the wisdom you have brought along all since then, and to let go of certain feelings you have. So it looks like part of the issue is forgiveness and release. Your authority here, you are a tough lady. Right, Saturn here in this space here at 4 degrees. This is you. You're very tough in the sense that you could, commercial real estate. Like you're like with the cigar smoking boys, like making the deals in the back room, no problem whatsoever. That part of you has been also tough on yourself. See, you haven't treated yourself like the princess you need to treat yourself, and bring and foster that self-love glow inside of you. Also, not let go of and forgiven certain emotional, let's say, wounds of the past. Now, you may not even be aware of these wounds just yet. I would think that these wounds were coming to light in the last year and a half as Pluto entered into Aquarius. And now that Pluto is at 2 degrees Aquarius, you're going to find that emotional memories of these wounds, which can come off as regret, shame, self-judgment, feeling like a sinner, maybe feeling like an imposter in some regards, because although you're the authority, something you says you're guilty of something. And what you're guilty of is not making yourself not guilty. So you haven't taken the power to free yourself and officially forgive yourself. You haven't taken power back from the church. Now, I do say back from the church because you do have a huge wound here. You have Chiron at 7 degrees in Pisces. This means that you were definitely part of an organized religion, and it was your personal dream to be closer to God. And something went horribly wrong. And then after that, there were echoes of that going wrong as well. So you have at least 3 failed lifetimes. So you tried to put God first, right? And this also broke your heart at the same time. But because of Jupiter here, we know that you have the fortune of having that place restored, which means that although you made the wrong choice as a human for himself or herself, you actually were mistreated in society. And so you get to be replaced and put right back in that position of power as soon as step 4, you realize you belong loving yourself first, period. So Saturn's at 4, love yourself first. Jupiter's at 4. When she loves herself first, she'll be on the path of her personal dreams. You know, part of what you are not probably listening to is the fact that whatever it is you're supposed to do spiritual should be a blast. Like, you know, there's a part of you that wants to still be good for the church in past lives. There's a part of you that still wants to be the authority of Atlantis, because this might have gone far as Atlantis. Saturn at 4 degrees is a master authority of I belong at the first state of awareness. This isn't possible to have unless you're a starseed or you're an Atlantean reincarnate. So you could be an alien or you can be reincarnate, but you don't have this authority on Earth if you lived here in the last 3,000 years. This is something that can only be developed in a higher vibration age when the Earth was at 5D. So you have like, you're a master of 5D reality for the individual. And that authority in you is like, I think, trying to maintain your authority, but accidentally stepping on yourself in the process. Basically deciding away things and judging yourself. So I would imagine that like your miracles to find your path will be something your heart wants, that the businesswoman you says is foolish and a waste of money. Okay. And that these little
all
secrets.
I want to do is the spiritual path. I mean, I do a lot of spiritual travel. I mean, I've, you know.
Oh, you want to do, or all you have done?
I have been. I mean, some incredible hike in the Himalayas in India, meditating with the Dalai Lama, like all kinds of things that, you know, some incredible experiences where I've, you know, seeing, you know, just sacred geometry, like in meditations, like, I don't know, I feel like there's something. So
do you feel like you belong there? Does your heart belong next to them?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
sure.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's ultimately what it is. So, you know, you're in a state where you know, the answer is yes. Jupiter is now moving into your 10th house of career. So you're going to have, including this, like this moment here, you're going to just have God sprinkling like, you know, fairy dust of awakening of kujas, you know, and that's what, or did you know, it's like, that's Jupiter. Like, did you know you have this? Did you know that this airline flies only to Budapest? Did you know? Like, so just opportunity like starts to open and flower in you. And the challenge is you have to be absolutely compassionate to yourself, 100% compassionate. So I don't know where you're a monster to yourself, but I know you are somewhere, you know, like with that Saturn down there. And it might be a monster to yourself on a higher level. Like you don't let yourself have chocolate, and you should maybe, you know, like, so it's all different.
Listen, like, I have 4 kids and they're all in different stages of things. And, you know, I probably beat myself up about a lot of things.
Okay.
You know,
well, it's time to make yourself so really, how many children do you have?
4.
Okay. You now have 5. So you're the firstborn, and that's the one you've ignored. And so what has to happen is a revolution in the way you look at your inner child, like the way you look at yourself as divine. You see, you don't allow yourself to feel divine within you. You don't, and it's a self-made humility that's coming from punishing yourself in the past life. The fact that you have an authority in metaphysics is actually using that authority in metaphysics from Atlantis to beat yourself up about Christ consciousness, which is weird. Your strength is actually attacking your strength, is attacking your wound, which is common for people at your level. Is they don't hurt anyone else anymore. They hurt themselves. They hit themselves with a bat, you know. For you, you just keep, I think you don't want to make yourself too good, too good for yourself or come across as this brat or whatever. It's a false humility that you're applying, based on the way you've been treated over the centuries. One of the problems here is that Pluto at 10 degrees here in the upper echelon of the 11th house, you have to actually, what you're learning is that you have to say, my heart wants this space in society. Mm-hmm. And you have to say, I want it. And they say, why? Because I said so is what you answer. because you have total authority over this reality. So you kind of feel like you don't have the right to do something like that. And part of that is because the wound is opposing this. So it's like, this
Well,
is
it's
like
almost disbelief. It's almost like, oh no, that's not, like, that's somebody else, not me, sort of.
right. So who's talking there? That the mind?
Probably, yes.
Yeah. So your mind is retrograde. So your Mercury is retrograde, which means that you were born like kind of, thinking against yourself instead of for yourself. And, you do have a very strong opinion about everything, don't you? So your ego is very strong about well, I think in some cases, I mean, you're being nice to yourself, but I think when some things like in a deal, I wouldn't want to be negotiating with you, like in the day, let's put it that way for commercial real estate. Like I want to be on the side. I want you on my team. But the point is that, again, you keep seeing this. You have strength right next to weakness in your chart, right? And the hardship there is that quite often what happens is the strength accidentally smothers the weakness instead of supporting it. And so what you have to do is use your strength to support your weakness. You do have a strong attitude when you're right and you're right. Your ego's like, I'm right. I'm not even going to talk to you. You don't even want to talk to them. Okay, that sort of righteousness about being right, you squash when it comes to things you want, like religion or whatever, because you're afraid of being in this arrogant prick that's like overclaiming something that it's not. And what it really is that the part of you that knows is telling yourself you better be careful about not knowing, instead of saying, no, we know, we got this, step back. Right. So your mind is working against itself. You're constantly talking yourself out of it just to make sure you come in, and you are obsessed with integrity. Neptune at 11, Scorpio, obsessed with integrity. So integrity, though, is that you love yourself and you love yourself some more. And so if you're loving yourself twice, you'll never mean to a person. So the mind also has to be checking your feelings, step 2, and your heart. So you have a mastermind. Masterminds, I don't think, they just listen. And the mastermind listens to your feelings and listens to your heart, and your mind is here to judge. When your feelings and heart agree, then you go forward and you believe. Your feeling and heart don't both agree equally, then you pause and you wait for more information. So basically, you're kind of all inside out twisted in the sense that you've been wounded. Look at this same pattern. Here is your heart connected to a wound, connected to a wound.
Oh my! Right? Well, I've had a lot of woundings.
Here's your joy connected to your wound. Wound connected to wound. But see, so it's like, but these are all next to your strength. So every time you have a strength, you have a part of you that says, "Are you sure you're strong? Are you sure you're capable?" There's that questioning. But your legacy is to be
go on.
Well, basically, this is a spiritual leader that focuses on care. This is 16 cancers, like Mother Teresa, like a working cancer, not a cancer that's just like up on a hill, like being kissed and adored. This is a cancer that's down with the poor people, helping the sick. This kind of cancer this is. But your ego's mission is to educate.
Well, it's interesting. My ex-husband used to call me Mother Teresa, but not in a kind way.
Just before sex?
No, it wasn't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you probably worked around those kind of women in past lives and holy goddesses. And
well, Mary Magdalene definitely resonates with me, and I've done and studied and been, spent a lot of time over there in France, in the cave.
Brilliant. Well, I'll tell you this, you are a believer. I mean, you believe in yourself at the end of the day. You do believe in yourself. Although you're very cautionary, you do believe in yourself. And you are here to manifest into reality, these complexities about reality you understand. So you are here to manifest like truths about reality. And so I see, look at this, 21, that's creating educational content. So we see, 21 is when you're a teacher and you bring the content in. Your lunar eclipse is 22. So you're a little worried about what happens. Part of you is holding back is you're worried about once there's an emotional reaction for the people, what are you going to do? So you're worried about disrupting. You're worried about being a disruptor. And the truth of the matter is, God only lets people who have Libra risings be disruptors because they know how to like rebalance it after it's been disrupted. So you're meant to disrupt. People are meant to disrupt.
And I have fear around disrupting.
Yes. And it comes from this. See,
I'm the youngest of 7 too, by the way.
Oh, the baby? The baby's most successful?
No, I'm not, candidly, but.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, I'll tell you this. Right here is the issue. You basically stopped developing your emotional self at like age 2. So you must have felt abandoned at 2. You must have felt abandoned by your family at 2. They must have like, go play with your other 6 sisters. They'll teach you.
Could have been, yeah.
That explains why you have this like, this solid badass attitude about your feelings and this attitude about yourself that's not often compassionate enough. And also why at the same time is because you're not compassionate, let yourself off the hook, that you hold on to things so long. because you don't let go of the things that you deserve, forgiveness for. You won't let go of the mistakes. All these other things you're like keeping as evidence to some trial you'll once have. Not going to have it in heaven. I'll tell you right now, the only trial is here on earth with yourself. Mm-hmm. So what has to happen is you actually need better emotional coping techniques. You need to basically baby the infant in you. You need to nurture the infant in you when you're out in society. Mm-hmm. You realize that you're a total baby out there. Okay.
I feel like I've been doing that though. I mean, I've done a lot of work.
This is as of your birth, so
and I meditate. I mean, I have a very solid meditation, spiritual practice. I have very much. I feel like I've
grounded and routine.
Yeah.
Well, there's stages here. There's a stage of coming out of your trauma and coming out of your past life wounds. So giving it a second shot at the ring. The next stage is once you actually do begin to have an effect. Now it's another level of learning that you haven't done before. You've never made it past this step before. So this is brand new. This is where it's new. This is where you might turn into a baby again for like a microsecond. I'm not saying you just turn into goo. Those days are over. But I'm saying this is a bad day. Like Hillary, you might trip, or something like, and it's like, oh, geez, everyone's focused on the tripping and whatever. And see, the lesson there is how did you treat yourself when you saw yourself on TV? How did you treat yourself? That's the lesson. It has nothing to do with the people whatsoever. Nothing.
Understood. Yeah.
Yeah. So the more compassionate and, Buddha-like you are to yourself, the farther you're going to go and the faster. But we're looking at your career starts now. This year is all planting, dropping seeds or dropping magical beans. The following year is going to be about finding your place in the world. You're not quite sure where you belong. Be willing to start at the bottom to see the top. That's what Spirit wants you to know. So you're gonna be like almost in an internship or something here. They just want you to know, like, you're going down to entry level for a minute. So don't be unwilling to, like, I don't think you have a problem with humility, but I think you have a problem with less than you deserve. And so in that moment, you're gonna have to think to yourself, I'm actually refinancing this. They're not treating me right, but I'm getting a free education in this and that. I'm saving money. They're losing money as far as I'm seeing. You got to see the metaphysical equations going on because this is sort of a test as to, people ask you like, why? Okay. But you'll know the person you study under is brilliant and you'll find has no ability in business. And, so there's exchange there. So that was the one thing you want to know. And then actually, after you come to this graduation, so you'll start to get pulled out in the public, but your desire is actually to be private at that point, not want to be in the public. That's where God gets you. And so a lot of your work in the public will be right when you're feeling most vulnerable with God. But that's the whole design of the plan. They're saying was for you to be exposed in front of God, with God in front of people, to be in some ways a witness and example. Your Mars there means that your name, this is your name, Leo, your name has to be on everything. This is about your credit, your credibility, you getting what you deserve back with at the time of the church, you getting back what you deserve at the time when it came to Atlantis. You have not claimed, again, you don't know how to claim your value in the world. Pluto at 10. Go, I'm worth this, bitches, and you're going to pay it. So you learn to hold that. But of course, it comes from holding it yourself, and holding yourself comes from self-nurturing and babying the baby, and then you have everything you need.
So what type of career, what type of change? Like, that's what I'm trying to determine.
Well, okay. I think the problem here is that you want a guarantee, and that's not how it's going to work. Okay. What they're showing me is it doesn't exist yet. So what if there's like a panel for, the ethical treatment of, Aborigines coming, by AI on ships? You're like, it's like, they're telling me it doesn't exist yet. Like what you're doing and what you're going to be known for doesn't exist yet.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that's I'm being strong. I'm getting strong at that. You'll find yourself on the path of and a student of it, whatever it is. So yeah, that's what I'm being told. So you're going to it feels like you're going to stumble upon a guru that can't get their name out there. And you're going to just understand something about something and its value. But your personal work is really getting close to God yourself. And you weren't really allowed to before.
Yeah.
Because it was a sin, the idea that you talk to God.
Yeah.
So, but you are going to be an emotional vessel that holds the Holy Spirit. So you will be the one that is this beaming compassion in the soup line or whatever you're doing.
Okay.
And that's what you're really working on, is letting that beam come out of you after such a hard, number of lifetimes.
That is true.
Yeah.
How about, I did have a second question. I don't
Go for it. Yeah, I was going to ask. Yeah.
It was up. I think it was about.
Put it up again. Yeah.
There we go.
the relationship and or okay, love path and move more towards the country or world. Okay, so the immediate answer is like, you are a bridger, so you were meant to go in and out of the city. You're the one that goes between you're the one that talks between the village and the city and the village. So they're saying to me that you are, you have two homes. Let's put it that way. You have the city condo and you have the home. And that's what it feels like. It's two.
It feels like it. Yes.
Yeah. You go back and forth.
I don't have that, but I do feel like
you
that.
will. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The answer is both. Right. And as far as spiritual path is concerned, you are ready. Like, see, the Southland has gone through this all space for you. So you've let go of a lot of your deep subconscious programming that keeps you from getting closer. Okay. Mm-hmm. Part of why you're not closer is actually because you haven't protected yourself in society. So believe it or not, you haven't claimed your right in society. You haven't put your boundaries down of where you belong and don't belong in society. And until you know where you belong or don't belong, which is a spiritual leader, then you don't feel like you belong with God. So it's like a belonging thing where it's like, you got, and the thing is like, oh, you say you belong, but you're hit and miss. You're back to corporate. You're back to church. You're back to corporate. What is it? What is it? You make up your mind any day? Like that's what Spirit's saying. So Spirit's like, we're not letting her in until she makes a choice. We ain't gonna be no,
Well, does that mean I retire from the corporate stuff? Like that's what I'm.
Without a question, you retire. I mean, without a question, yes. I mean, they're showing me you had plans. Like you've been planning to leave. Yes. I don't foresee any where you are like, the Buddha of business. Like I don't, you leave that world. You realize you're completing the world you failed at, which is the spiritual world. Business has been like, Vegas to, like the Vegas of like what you could do in lieu of the shininess of these places. The truth is you're much more in awe of those places on earth than you are of anything you've ever done in corporate. You definitely leave corporate for good, no question. However, I do see you coercing corporate later on behalf of organizations. So again, the fact that you speak fluent corporate is very beneficial to the people you work with. So your skills and sets are absolutely used 100%, but you run the path really of being a spiritual light worker. You are a light worker.
But again, does this mean that I'm like not going to have a where I'm,
love, excuse me, that one part.
Yeah. And
I was in the spiritual path. No, you're having a relationship. Here's the problem with relationships. So right now, I mean, you're very, you have Aries energy on your 7th house cusp. It vibrates at step 14, very opinionated. And 14 is based on where you feel your heart belongs. Well, so far, what you feel your heart belongs with has been the correcting of the wrongs, and that has not been the best of the rights. Yes, so you're a little upside down. What you're drawing to you is to correct, like, I'll show that third husband in Egypt that I was a shit. He'll forget. No, you're still, that's the way you are. You're all Miss Nice Eye, like on the outside, but on the inside, you were like,
that's the old me. That's the old me.
Okay, good. So you don't belong there. The other thing is too, like Chiron is working its way up here to sort of heal. You've got some past life relationships you're drawing in. So you're healing literal past life relationships. So these people are coming. These are the difficult people. The difficult people right off the word. Well, why are you done with them? What was the lesson? Right? Probably to love yourself first. Probably.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, probably be compassionate to yourself first. Probably just treating yourself better is what it is. The irony is like, in typical Libra rising, it's like you are giving to them so that you can be the strong one. You really are playing to have the upper hand, even though you're playing the lower hand. And so it's kind of like, just win the game going straight for a flush. Quit screwing around with these pawns. You're afraid to say, I deserve the best. And so it's kind of like you get in these little fights.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Okay, good. That's good to know, because Chiron has finished almost the first decan of the 7th here. So, your mirror should be good with you. You should know now that, like, yeah, you're a little aggressive because you're pissed off as a kid. Okay. Whatever. Like, give yourself that credit. The truth of the matter is, you're still drawing on the old type, and you will for a while. Because you have literally some things to sow. You have some people. They're showing me you have some Atlantis foes. You got to meet the ex-husband of Atlantis before you can consider. You'll know it when you meet him. He's got like, he's got like snake for hair, and I'm kidding, but like, no, you'll meet him. The truth is that there's some generational codes that haven't allowed people to meet each other yet, and you've got some ancient things you have to face too. Technically, when Saturn hits your 7th house cusp, that's when it'll be in business about relationships. Okay.
Well, how long is that? Just give me something.
Your heart is longing because where you feel emptiness now should be filled with self-love.
I know. It is pretty much.
Okay. However. So there should be no hunger if you're being filled. And you might be like, God, I'm a pig. No, you were way undernourished. So, you don't understand how undernourished you have been and what you can survive on. You're like a human camel. You can go a long time without any love or appreciation. And so just because you can doesn't mean you should. You have to like pour on the love to where it's like you're like gagging on chocolate. Okay, like seriously, that's how uncomfortable it's going to feel for you to receive it. You're not good at receiving the love, and you know what? The love you want to receive, you're not in the place to receive it. You don't feel strong enough to receive it. You have to try on yourself first, and then from the person. And if the person came now, he'd feel rejected because you don't really receive it to his satisfaction. Just give you this is why you're waiting.
That's why I'm waiting.
You'll break his heart when he gives you gifts.
Oh, geez.
Right now. Yeah, because the smile on you won't be big enough. I mean, you draw on the real lovers, they get hurt if you don't love what they love. They love you for like a living. They get hurt if you don't enjoy it. That hurts them.
Yeah.
That's what you're asking for, is that kind of love. I can feel it. So it's like, okay, you better be good at saying thank you.
All right. So I'm not moving, is what you're telling me necessarily?
No, you'll be on. No, it doesn't feel like you should move. I don't know where you're planted, but it doesn't feel like you should. Maybe some upgrades or something. I don't know. I think you're restless.
I mean, this idea of like the city and the, whatever resonates with me. Like I need to go and I need to go do that and bring the energy back. And then.
Is that Libra rising? Oh,
is that what that is?
Yeah. You need both sides. You need like the country life and you need like the private life and the public and the private and the public. You need both, equal of both. So they say if you just do it as far as days spent, it just has to be about equal. If you fill up with too much of the one, you have to go to the other to know what you got. So you have to go to the woods to know what's in the city. You have to go in the city to get, to get out of the woods. And when you're in the woods, you go into your deep subconscious spiritual shit. You go into your past lives where you're in monasteries and you were beaten, all this stuff. So it's like, that can be a pain in the butt too. Like, so you gotta go back and forth. It's okay. You're on the right path in that regard, and you make more of an impact than you realize on people. That's what they want you to know too. Because you're a hard judge, you don't see how much of an impact you have. People already follow you in your ways. You're already a leader. Those around you lead. Yeah.
I mean, I've been told that, so I know that, and I have people pushing me to do the other. So I'm the one who's holding myself back.
People are afraid to compliment you because they know it won't be accepted. They know you won't take it, and then they'll feel silly. They're trying to give you something because it's vulnerable to give someone. When someone really cares and says thank you, that's vulnerable on their part too. So if the other person's like, thanks, but you're saying that because you yourself, it's too much, it chokes you up. Believe it or not, you're doing both of you a service by taking that to heart and just take it to the bank. So the more you take in, the more you allow yourself to let love in, the faster the love story will happen. So you can speed up anytime you want.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. Pleasure to meet you. Good luck. Come back and tell us how things go.
Okay.
Yeah. Next time you should be like in the same like giraffe or something live in a jungle. Like, what the hell? Yeah. It's possible. But good luck. I can't wait to see what happens next. Come back and tell us.
I'm open. I'm willing.
Yes, that's awesome. And love yourself.
Yeah.
You're a divine gift.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you. That was awesome. I think we're going to take a little break, right? And we come back with Gary. Papa Chris has to go potty. Thank you. Love that reading too.
At Hair Intelligence, we believe that every strand of hair has its own voice and needs. By combining ancient wisdom with modern biochemistry, we create pure, organic solutions that work in harmony with your hair's natural biology for optimal hair health naturally. By choosing simplicity, sustainability, and science-backed natural solutions, we help our clients transform their hair, whether it's repair, regrowth, or simply radiant, healthy manes they seek.
All of her products have completely changed my hair. I like to call it magic in a bottle. So if there's one thing that she knows, it's hair.
Before using Karen's products a few years ago, I struggled with various hair challenges, including alopecia, and now I've overcome them and I've just fallen back in love with my hair.
Get your best hair with clean, organic products that are catered to your hair's unique health and longevity. Get 20% off your first purchase at Hair Intelligence by entering code SiriusJoy20 at checkout. Rediscover your hair's true potential.
Happy holidays! I'm Sanandra, founder of CT Organics. For the past 30 years, our goal has been to bring the healing power of plants into your everyday life with simple, clean, organic skin and hair care made with love. CT makes a wonderful gift for the holidays. Enter code word JOY30 at checkout and you'll receive 30% off any individual Sichi skin and hair care product.
Happy holidays!
SiriusJoy Academy is now offering gift certificates called Gifted Scholarships in 6-month, 9-month, and 1-year increments. This is the first time we've ever offered this. SiriusJoy is the most accurate astrology service in the world. And now you can stun your loved ones with a spiritual mirror that helps them every day. Visit SiriusJoy.academy to make your purchase. That's SiriusJoy.academy. Available now. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. It's SiriusJoy Live. And it's great to be live. That's why we're here. We're here to help cheerlead for the new age, and it's going to be a bumpy ride, so stay in touch with us. By the way, if you'd like to have a reading on camera, just like you saw, it's quite possible, including recording with it. Just go to SiriusJoy.shop. SiriusJoy.shop. You'll be able to see what we have there. We also have a special coupon code for those who want to be involved in SiriusJoy. We got some all kinds of cool stuff there. We're starting to get in the merch business just a little bit. One of those things I want to do right or not do it at all. So we'd also love to have you. By the way, I think these slots are going to fill up pretty fast. As soon as people find out that I'm doing these readings on camera and talking to me face to face, I think it's going to get out pretty fast. We're sending out a newsletter this weekend. So if y'all are interested, go on down to SiriusJoy.shop. Claim your time now. It's going to fill up fast. You can see it's only one per show on video and a few on question marks. So there's that. Also, Countdown to 2026 tickets are going to be for sale at newyears.guru. We'll have that live here, but that is my yearly webinar that happens at the top of the year. And every time we did it, people are like, boy, that's exhausting. It's 4 or 5 hours of a lecture. You're telling me it's exhausting. I'm the guy that had to do it. So I'm breaking it up this year. We're doing little pods. We'll have an hour and a break in the community. In fact, there's never been anything like this before. I've come up now with the Countdown 2026 calendar. So you'll be able to subscribe to my calendar, and you'll have right in your calendar the step changes at what time. They'll be localized to your time. If you got your your calendar set to the right time, it will have step changes at what time those happen, when Love Fest days are, when Mercury retrogrades are. Imagine being able to get on. You're going to get on an airplane. You're going to plan a trip. You open up your calendar, and there it says "Do not fly." Yep, that's right. There'll be do not fly days. Days where I think I don't think I can get in the air. So it's that kind of guidance you can't get anywhere else. We're going to have a special. They're not quite up yet, but they will be. It's basically you buy a year subscription for $99. That's it. Normally like $110. So I think it's fair. And they come straight into your calendar. It's amazing. They'll be up soon. All right. So we're going to do, we'll be talking more about that. And we'll talk about how to get there. We're going to do another question, by the way. Okay. We got, great. Countdown to SenseiChristopher.com. So you can buy the calendar now at countdown.SenseiChristopher.com. Countdown.SenseiChristopher.com. It's on screen, I guess, as well. All right, we have a question here, and this is a silent question. In other words, they're not on camera. I'm just going to do the reading here and show everyone kind of the math. I'm wondering what's next in 2025. Was everything constantly moved to a new state, which meant a home purchase, new jobs, new car, new tech. So what's the new thing coming into the works? So what new thing is coming into the works now? Well, first of all, you've got a lot of the new, and let's just talk to you about that in general. In general, is this, by the way, I guess tell me backstage if we have a chart on this or if this is just a 3-year. Okay, gotcha. No chart. Gotcha. All right, so cool. So we're going to talk about this more from a generic perspective. We want so people can learn. 9-degree Leo, 23-degree Taurus rising, 20-degree Capricorn moon. Now, first of all, as a 23 Taurus rising, you have been reinventing yourself for a long time. All that new is Uranus in your first house. And so you are innovating the way you do things. You're upgrading like your abilities to process, to respond, to behave. And you're putting on the master touches of that now. The question is, what will your character be? So the big question is, what sort of information do you want to be spreading? Because with a 23-degree Taurus rising, you are a mastermind. You're here to master intellectual property. And with the early degrees of Gemini in the first house, you're meant to somehow create property that's based on the way you think of yourself. So the way you think of yourself is who you are in a way. And so you're meant to be kind of like a gap queen like this, like me on the air. You're meant to be talking to people and getting the word out and saying things. Now, with the sun at Leo degrees, at 9 degrees Leo, that means that your heart is probably in the third house, which is intellect. And so you love actually talking about what you think of yourself. And so again, I think you're supposed to create a brand or product that is based on thinking about yourself in different terms. So now that you've changed your whole life, you're a different person, right? And you're moving to be a different expression of yourself. I will say that having a Taurus rising means that you are now at a place where you have everything in a row, and it's time to decide what your spiritual gifts are that you're going to give the world. And so you are here to give and share your spiritual approach to the world, whatever that is, your advice, your spiritual advice, if you will. And that spiritual advice is very like every man, every woman, kind of like on the base level of life. So it's like practical advice that leads to real powerful returns is really what it is that you offer. You also have a strong knowledge of wisdom from a past life. That 28-degree Capricorn moon falls in your 9th house. And so you are here to manifest things you've learned in past lives when you were in charge, when you were in control. So I'm kind of getting this bigger picture of you of that you're a soul that had been way at the top. With that 20-degree Capricorn moon, you've been like, at the top of all power, at the top of governments. You've been considered an intellectual leader in past lives. But in this lifetime, you've come back to be the average person. And you want to bring that wisdom that you had at the top down to the average person, and how the average person can treat themselves, perhaps to position themselves to be someday at the top, or to feel like they're at the top when they're actually at the bottom of the hierarchy, because hierarchy is not what it's going to be about. So what new is coming into the works, to answer your question? Ultimately, is a new mission, a new calling. You have a new calling happening. You see you have new jobs, great. Well, out of those jobs, you're going to find a new calling you haven't had before. This calling is absolutely out of your comfort zone, so you're going to have to intern for a while to actually do it. And then from there, you're going to actually get closer to God on your own terms. So you are meant to be on stage a little later in the apocalypse re-evolution. You're going to be doing a lot of study and private work when the world is freaking out the most. And you're meant to come on stage when people are ready for solutions. So you have some time until you're calling on stage, but you are here to follow what's fun and what you enjoy, what your heart really enjoys. Remember, sun at 9 degrees Leo means that you're here to have fun and always do the most loving thing for yourself. Okay, the next question that we have is in 4 long parts. All right. Ooh, backstories. Okay. I would say in the future, y'all, backstories usually disrupt the reading, don't complement it. We'll see. Going through divorce, transitioning from being a homemaker to a homeschooling mom for most 20 years to not working, but starting a business in a new to me field. Okay. Got that so far. Next paragraph. Kids are teen young adults now, so we have an empty nester. Also presented with option of moving out of the country at some point. I don't know. That might be a past life calling you that you have to resolve, not necessarily new residence. Major transitions, lots falling away, as they should be. Feeling grief, foreign newness, and like deer caught in headlights. Yes, it's because you're becoming more vulnerable and you don't have the coping skills. Sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. I truly believe that stepping into what I'm supposed to, though, I just don't want to mess up. Nobody does. I'm so stunned. It's hard to know what my heart wants though all of this was it, but it's so distorted. Sorry, conversation sometimes hard to read. Just curious about what you see for my purpose and future. If there's any intuitive advice coming through, probably need a long session with you at some point. Thanks so much. So can we go back to what her stuff is? Okay, 22 Libra sun. Okay, Libra moon, Libra rising. Holy shit, a triple Libra. Okay, so this is interesting. Notice the 9 theme we have today with the 9s. Okay, so for right away, you're meant to interact with the world and be a citizen of the world. Being a triple Libra means that you have a hard time making distinguishing different parts of yourself. So you have to separate your ego, which is a 9 Libra rising. So your ego just wants to do things for you, and that's what it's here to do, is do things for you. So at the end of the day, you've come here to always do things for you, period. It's not for anybody else. It's always for you. If it looks like it's for someone else, that's because it's for you. So let's not even play the game of being humble and doing it for others. It's for you. By the way, that's what God wanted, was for you to be a new God, not to be another one like him or her. So you're here to be for you. Now, the moon at 14 Libra says you've got to also be the 1 in the 14 is your heart and where it belongs. You have to be always on the side of your heart. Always on the side of your heart. Okay. And then if you're always on the side of your heart, then your sun is a master Libra, which nets to a 4, which means if you're always on the side of your heart and you're always doing for you, then you'll find that you are law of attracted to something that you belong with. If you do not always act on behalf of your heart and you're not always on your heart side in your mind and your feelings, then you'll find where you don't belong. So you've been lost in the desert because you have not been on your side. All right. You can't have a master Libra who is going to find the balance of all balance. How can a Libra scale balance the power between Palestine and Israel if the scale itself isn't on the scale side? If you're not on the side of your own scale, how the hell are you going to measure something that complicated? You have to be on your side. Your job is to support you while you're weighing everything out. If you don't support yourself while you're weighing everything out, you're not going to weigh anything, because what's going to happen is you're going to weigh in favor of yourself secretly to restore balance, because that will feel what's best and most balanced. You end up choosing a side that aids and abets yourself, because you ignored yourself, you didn't give to yourself. And so when you're here to be fair, you end up being unfair, thinking you are fair, because what feels right is a correction of you. This is how a scale can go way off balance. So you have to actually practice being more Aries-like. You've got to just do it all for you for a while. And this means that you're going to find and discover something amazing, that when you act on behalf of your heart, you end up in a place to help someone else. God always pays someone else when you love yourself. When you love yourself, you always end up paying someone else as a result of it. Always. Love is that way. It always is spread. It does not get spread. So to love yourself does not mean to steal candy from a baby. It does not mean to, wrench away the position from someone else. When you love yourself, the world will also follow through and love yourself, and everything will be appropriate as it needs to be, because love is creation. So you are diverting to love energy. So with Libra rising, yeah, you're getting used to lifestyle changes right now, and you're getting used to having a new deal with yourself. You have to be tough for yourself instead of on yourself. You've been tough on yourself. You be tough for yourself. And that's really what we're waiting on. You're still back and forth about whether or not you want to do that. I think you're afraid of going too far, but I think you haven't gone too far in the past. I think you've been close to people who went too far. And so you're sort of like owning like your husband's bad deeds in past lives, not yours, but thinking they're yours. There's some confusion there, but that's because you allow yourself to get lost in the people, get lost with other energies. And because you get lost in it, you're not a very good fair judge of yourself as a result. So really, it's all about how well you treat yourself. You'd be really good in SiriusJoy. All right, great. Nice. So I feel like that's it. Is this one more question, or what is this? Okay, third. Okay, gotcha. Okay, we'll do one more question. A step 5 Virgo sun, 20-degree Virgo moon. All right, so this is, what advice would you give me with the full moon at my ascendant? Okay, the full moon at your ascendant. Let's see, the Virgo moon is at 13 degrees. So you have a 20-degree Virgo moon, but the full moon is actually going to be in Sagittarius. So I'm not quite sure what that means, but maybe it was earlier. But let's talk about this. Let's just talk about moons in general. You are a mental person that focuses only on yourself. That 5-degree Virgo, all you think about is yourself, and that's okay. The problem is are you thinking for your feelings? The answer is no. So I think what happens is you don't think for your feelings, because you have a 20-degree Virgo moon. So your feelings, that 20, that 0, you need to always be thinking about how to shelter your feelings. Because if you don't shelter your feelings, what happens is you become overly codependent on the people in front of you. And your Cancer rising wants to nurture the hell out of everyone, take care of everyone, and you end up skipping over yourself in the process. And then what happens? Well, you attract people who only selfishly take from you, and they don't give back, because that's what you do. You take from you and don't give back. And so you draw people who take from you, don't give back. And so what happens is you find yourself always slave to these people who don't think for you and don't think at all for you whatsoever. So you feel sort of mistreated by the universe. So what has to happen is, for the full moon is happening. Let's see if you have you have a 13 degrees. Oh no, I see. She's talking about the full moon next month with the Cancer rising. The full moon next month will be at 28, so it's not going to really conjoin. What the full moon is going to do, it's not even a full moon, it's a new moon. Oh, no, she's right, the full moon, excuse me. Full moon in Cancer. Sorry. You're a month ahead of me on this one, so bravo to that. You know what this is going to be? This is the revolution. So everything I just said is relevant. The full moon is when you've had enough. So that's the meltdown. That full moon, you will, hell or high water, no longer put yourself under the bus. You'll no longer Be willing to emotionally take second seat. You'll no longer tolerate coming second, but you realize, you did this to yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you responded poorly to yourself all along, and that's why you join people who respond poorly to you. And so although you might want to burn the house down, all you need to do is just honestly follow what your heart believes. Step 13. Does your heart believe you deserve something? Then give it to yourself. Does your heart believe you don't deserve it? Then don't tolerate it. And just go by that loving and believing side of yourself. Respond that way. The full moon next month in Cancer will be a hell or high water moment where you emotionally can't take it anymore, and your ego might even say something you don't mean to say and sabotage it just to get to the growth moment. So yes, beware. That'll be quite a moment in a month. Everyone stand back from that person. Give them some space. All right. Excellent. Thank you, folks. I think we have my friend Gary on here now. Hey, buddy.
Absolutely. Hey, Chris.
Where in the world is Gary right now?
I'm in the Philippines, just outside of Manila right now. I've been here for a couple of weeks, getting ready to head back to Dubai.
Back to Dubai. Wow, that's such a story. So, you and I we're actually here because we're going to talk about a special we haven't set a date for. Right? We haven't set a date for like a Chris and Gary State of the Union kind of thing.
Yeah, we need it. It's been, like I've missed our Astro Mondays, because I've been traveling, haven't been able to hit them. But, things that we talked about a year ago, 2 years ago, and we were very public about, we're right here, we're right now, and people are feeling it. What's crazy is that, you can give all the prophecies, you can tell everybody about what's going to happen. But while it's happening, almost nobody knows that it's happening. They're like dumbfounded.
Yeah. So let's get right into it, buddy. So what are you seeing that we talked about 2 years ago?
Well, we said that the toughest time was going to be April all the way through to the end of this year. It was going to be just a train wreck and apocalyptic. We talked about. We talked about the separation of families, people, things, business.
Oh, even our guest. Dear Lord, and our guest. People, things, you disappear. It's like, no, we got him.
Yeah, even me. And some of the other things that, I've been on tour for almost 2 years now. Since actually we started the tour in actually December of 2023. And the actual official launch was the one that you hosted. And and so that was in Austin in May.
Wow,
just before your
okay, yeah.
And I haven't gone home. I haven't been home since.
Wow.
So I've been to 13 countries now, done 60 events, anywhere from 500 to 10,000 people. And I started off the tour asking a question. Here has a chronic condition, or somebody in their immediate family has a chronic condition, health condition. And if we go back 2 years ago, it was approximately a third of the population. And a third of the people at the event. If you go back a year ago, it was 50%. Today, 95% of every single person raises their hands. And that's a shift. That is a massive shift. Never before in human history has that ever happened. And we're in the middle of the largest health crisis, emotional, physical, and perceptual, but the middle of it, and people are just living their lives trying to get through, not even realizing, stepping outside of it, realizing what we're actually in.
Every time I've been hospitalized, I realize I've been ignoring the symptoms for a long time. There's something, something in the human spirit that just like ignores the pain. Like, well, that'll fix itself. And like, it just builds and builds and builds. Of course, we know there's been a lot of homicidal interventions into the world, as well, like from poisons in food to everything else. So there's been aiding and abetting by big industry to people being sick. Do you feel, so what is the overall, what's the overall feeling like in other countries? Like, you went to Dubai, like, what are you learning there? I mean, it's such a mystery to us.
Well, okay. So I'll tell you a couple things. I mean, people are generally sick everywhere, and you can tell by their behaviors, what they do, how they show up, stuff like that. But in America, the reason I've been out of America is flat, like completely dead as a doornail flat.
In what sense?
Well, for example, if I host an event in LA, normally on 24 hours notice, 300 people would show up. Now it's like 50 people, and they barely come crawling through the door. The complete polar opposite, like 24 hours notice in London, hundreds of people show up and hundreds are waiting to get in. Same thing in Dubai. So what I found is that people have the same conditions all over the world, but they are approaching it very differently. And in places like Dubai, people are see a future. They see an opportunity still. And in the United States, I have seen the diminish of the opportunity. Like, we have to motivate people, like blow life into them, give them CPR to get them up to do stuff. And I find it being very, very different in other parts of the world, which is why I'm also spending my time in other parts of the world.
Interesting. Well, I've got that same kind of earnest about astrology too. I've noticed that United States, it's kind of taken for granted. A lot. My workers often take for granted or whatever, or assume this should be there. Like, it's just not really valued. But then anything outside the United States is so grateful for the information. They're just in a different place. Maybe we're just a little bit spoiled with resources, aren't we?
Yeah, that is definitely it. And also we've had a switch too. Like, we have this, for the first time ever, we have now, like, we can attribute about 50 million people practicing worldwide.
Wow.
And we have 5 million on social platforms. We had our TikTok taken away. We're getting it back, which will be about 6 million.
Stop telling the truth, Gary.
Yeah, and then we have, but we have about 200 million views every month right now. So we have this massive engine of collection. And what we're seeing is some behaviors. One of them is in our coaching program, which is the first time ever, because we have all these people that want help, and we didn't have people to help them. So we're now connecting people that are through our coaching program with people that want help. 75% of the people that sign up for that coaching program would normally be in the United States or Canada. Today, recently, the one that we just did, the cohort we just launched, it was 25% or 24% in North America. So the tables have flipped. I think there's a lot of just distraction. People are confused. They don't know what to do. And when people are distracted or confused, they don't take action. And I feel that that's what's happening in North America. That's
true. We're all kind of like at the red light going on. What do I want for dinner? I don't know. Did the light turn green? I don't know. Is that your mom on the phone? And we're supposed to be driving. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, America's really I mean, we've successfully been hypnotized to some degree. Yeah, totally. And did you approach into India? You're talking about going to India too.
Yeah, we pushed all of India off into early next year. We've been really flowing with what's happening. Like, one of the things that I've learned from you over the years is that when doors stop or start getting hard or stop opening, just move in another direction. And one thing I've learned to do over the last couple of years, especially being on the road, sometimes we've been down to 2 weeks before. I have a team of 6, 8, 9 people, 10 people, and we don't have a confirmation of where we're going. We have a couple places we're talking to. Up down to 2 weeks before we pack up and leave sometimes.
Wow.
And yeah, and being in that flow, it's which I learned from you, is to just go with the flow. I've always wanted to go this direction, and now I've been more open to just let things happen. And as we've been doing this, all kinds of opportunities have been showing up in the wildest ways. But it has been an element. I can see that this last year has driven us to start to be comfortable with uncertainty. And if I'm comfortable with uncertainty, then everything works. But if I become uncomfortable in the uncertainty, then the world just starts parading all kinds of problems and issues. And I see that with the people that travel with me, because they're uncomfortable for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, your boss is like, now we're going to London. Now we're going to Madagascar. Now we're going back to London. Yeah, it's tough. I'm the same way though. Everyone's trying. I just launched this 2 days ago. The Spirit told me like I need to launch it. I was like, we're launching a daily show starting tomorrow. So God bless the people that work with us, Gary. We're those kind of guys. But you know what? That's how Spirit works. Like, first of all, sometimes Spirit, I don't know how it works really, but what I've observed is sometimes Spirit's waiting on the client. Like it's not till last minute the Budapest decides they want to help themselves. And so, we're like, free will is that damn thing that's in the way. Sometimes I found that I have to go through experiences before I'm revealed the answer. And like, until I go through experiences, the experiences I had to have, a lot of times those experiences had to do simple, like going ahead and going out and getting the cheesecake or something that I would normally just deprive myself of. I should have done that because that's where the answer freaking was, you know. But I've been with you as far as following that that energy inside of you.
Well, part of the, we had this conversation years ago when the pandemic started. There was I used to use astrology as a way to try to soften the blow. And in other words, it's like, oh, it's really bad. I don't want to do that because it's really bad over there. Yeah. And I used to try to use astrology to also like, this is the day we want to do things. And that caused a lot of friction in my life. And I'll just talk about my personal story. So what's happened now is I just set things for when I'm going to set things. And I show up to how I'm going to show up on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And then I use astrology to explain the world around me. So that in these days, you know how I'm always obsessively asking. I know the astrology of every single person who's waited on me, who's driven me in an Uber, who has been at the front desk clerk for me. I know the astrology of every person that's touched my field for the last 2 years straight. Every single person. And I take note of it. Like one of the things when we were in London working with Djokovic, he's a Gemini, he's a 1 degree Gemini. His wife is 27 degree Gemini. Interesting. And we were staying in London. We're driving out to Wimbledon to see him every day. And 100% of the Uber drivers were Gemini.
Oh, wow. That's funny.
Yeah. So what does that tell you? Like, now that means something to me. And if I didn't ask, I wouldn't know.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why I asked. Yeah. 100% are Gemini.
Watch the patterns.
Yeah. So for me, that's like, well, our message is going to change. Our global message is going to change. And sure enough, in the Daily Mail, all of a sudden, all this stuff came out on myself working with Djokovic as an example.
Oh, really? Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All the Gemini mouths talking.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I would say that's like when you find yourself in that. I've found myself in the same spot with Tauruses and Scorpios, and law of attracting tons of Scorpios and Tauruses, which is not usually attracted. I usually attract me. Usually I attract other me's. But I do pay attention to everything I attract and the step number I attract and whom I'm attracting and when and what's going on when that attraction happens. And I'm a person too that agrees. I actually feel like astrology for me, I don't like kill myself to meet a step deadline. I just try to apply the step that day, that step. And I find that I'm already in step. I'm already signing the contract on that 8 day. I'm already taking the 6 off. I'm already doing it. For me, it's an affirmation that I'm in concert with the universe, and that makes me feel good, at the end of the day. Now, in the beginning, though, when my shit was crazy, it was a lifesaver because I was like, just get to step 9, you'll be fine. Like knowing that there's a cycle would be a relief, knowing that 6 is around the corner, or 4 is it's just a 4 day. So it kind of depends on where you are in your awareness. But I'm coming out with my first calendar, man.
Yeah, I heard that. I'm super excited about that.
You're gonna love it.
That helps me. The reason why I am this way though is because of all the years with SiriusJoy. All the years of having this service send me a message at times of need or times of great to help explain the world around me. And as that did that more, and as I trusted it and used it more, then it just became natural for me to look for the evidence of my environment every moment. And that's what trained me into who I am today.
That's amazing. And I love that you've adopted it and been the putting in the proof. The proof of the pudding, right? Yeah, putting the proof actually.
What are we going into year 7?
We're going to, what do you mean? We did, this is a 9-year.
No, but I mean with SiriusJoy for the message.
Oh, SiriusJoy is 10. Just turned 10 in September. Yeah, we're decade. Wow. Yeah, we're 10 years old.
What happened to 3 years? Yeah, so I've been using it for 10 years.
Wow, me too. I know. I was saying to people before, like you and I met, and we were both talking about our ideas for our companies at the same time. And I was thinking about SiriusJoy. You were thinking about what you're doing with Human Garage, and figuring out how we're going to do this. And we both sort of stumbled our way through it, and made it happen, and started trading notes. So we've both been on this journey from the beginning. Same path.
So what are you
2 years? Yeah.
What are you seeing with people right now? Like you're dealing with their emotional and their perceptual awareness. So what have you been seeing over the last couple of months?
First of all, I'm seeing I'm a fire marshal, not a firefighter anymore. So I'm moving to more of a proactive preventing forest fires. And like, so the people who are coming to me now, I have a different client base coming to me basically. First of all, they're client base that waited a long time. So if you get a personal reading with me, you might have been waiting for a while. There's no way around that. But it all works out perfectly. When you get the reading, it's like they get it at this perfect time. It's like, you need to hear this now. What I'm finding is that the people I attract know they have a higher purpose and they want to get there now. So they all, just like our question on camera, like the woman who was just questioning whether or not she would stay in corporate business or go into spiritual field. Most of my clients are making that, the people coming to us now are making that leap. Yeah. As far as people who are suffering are just now learning for the first time they create their reality. They're beginners. Like absolute. I am shocking people. And when I'm in the general public, I'm shocking people. And I become that guy that like just starts spewing out the crazy stuff. But like, and what I'm finding is that people are very, very educated and have their own theories already. And for a lot of time, like that something ain't right. Something ain't right about this, something ain't right about that. They're on the edge of like realizing they've been lied to. Right. And so I'm quite often the person going, yep, you have been. Yep. You're right about that. You're right. Yep. So I find I'm a yes man to where I was maybe 7 or 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
The full 7 years ahead. So what I'm finding is I'm drawing in butterflies who are ready now to go out and be light workers and light carriers. And they want to know how to do it and coaching them to do that, like from what I've learned. And then I'm attracting brand new kindergartners who are just now realizing that the world is actually flat. I'm kidding.
So what is it? What is it that for you the separation? Like we've been talking for over 2 years about Earth splitting into two. Mm-hmm. How does that show up for you? And what do people that are listening to that? What would they actually feel? What's really funny is like some people have just manifested a sudden problem with us and left. Like they manifested their own crisis, which we were the fault of. So they usually so we've seen an abrupt migration of people, migration of customers, migration of viewers, and all they know is that we're not the answer. So it's like, okay. So what was hard was the moment of like saying, okay, go on your path, like do what you have to do. And I know spiritually, it's like, they've got some stuff to learn, they just learn, they're learning their stuff in a different way. They learned that there's a different world out there, but then they had to go in and discover why their world was different. And some people have discovered their world is different and they come to us to be acknowledged that yes, it's a different world. So I'm finding there are people who are hostile, who are, I don't know what's going to wake them up, but they're going to keep escalating the situation. That's what I'm finding. I've noticed that in all kinds of ways, people that were in my life just disappeared.
Oh yeah.
I mean, disappeared. I mean, to the point where sometimes, Chris, it's like holy crap, I forgot about that person. I forgot they were even a part of my life. And then something brings me back to a memory of it. And I've been having that in droves.
Yes. Now that I've predicted, that is the eon shift. So we're pretty much over. I mean, honestly, this moon tonight, that's it. This is it. Like, this is when you put the cord in a jukebox, the new song will play. And I've been telling people, when you think back to 2020s, it's going to be like black and white in your head. It's going to be like a reality you can't even imagine being in anymore. We're in that big of a line. Mm-hmm. Imagine being in the 90s and thinking you're back in the 70s. Just too different. Like, we're going to be so different in about 5 minutes. And from what I can feel is around April, shift hits the fan, and so, yeah, shift hits the fan. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe you have an idea of it, but,
I definitely have an idea. I mean, right now, I dropped a podcast with Dr. Zach Bush. That was one of the most shocking conversations I've ever had in my life. It's on our new Human Garage Experience podcast channel.
Cool.
Spotify or YouTube. And what I've been talking about with him over a period of time is that human beings have run their course at the current rate that chemicals are being deployed in the planet and bacteria. We have a maximum of 40 years until the human race is extinct.
Oh, wow.
Unless there's a change. Like, this is a biological, scientific, evidentiary look at what's going on in the world, unless there's a change. And, it's funny because when you hear this podcast, you're going to feel that there's doom and gloom. And then the switch is what happens. And this is what I've been working on this whole time is, what does evolution look like? And who are us as human beings? How are we evolving? We're evolving as a species, but what does it actually look like and what does it feel like? And I can actually point to people who have biological information in their body that's changed, like myself, that is not commensurate. It does not engage with the normal way that we looked at a human 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Like my biology.
Yes.
I'm continually getting younger. My biological age is 24. I'm not doing a lot of things for that. My physical weight and weight disbursement has changed in this crazy way. I've become super, super light and super strong at the same time. I sleep less. I eat virtually nothing.
Yeah.
I literally eat a meal a day, if that.
Yeah.
And all of these things have been changing around me, and I've noticed that it's happening to some people. So there is an evolutionary biological shift.
100%. Okay, I agree. I think so. I feel like they will go extinct in their version of Earth and perish. I do think they will. Yeah. I do think the way the ride is designed is you just like go through this little gate here, and suddenly you're on a new ride. You don't know it. Like, I do think that it's like, wait a second, the air suddenly smells like cotton candy. Oh, that's the new ride. And I feel like for the rest of us, I mean, what I keep picking up is honestly, for like the last 2 months, although I've had my own stuff that's coming up and I'm clearing, which I'm okay with. I'm totally okay with now. Now it's just like suffering through a bowel movement, like here she comes, there goes that past life, but besides that, when I scan the future, it's just happiness. It's just happiness. And I'm like, that can't be right. Like scanning in, so I keep scanning the future. It's like, nope, happiness, just owning happiness. And now I know that's the way it's supposed to be, but I didn't think it was coming now. Like I felt like it was going to be that old story of struggle, but I feel a very strong goodbyes to people. Like, that's it. I know we won't see each other. When there are people say it's goodbye to me, I know it's the last time in this life. Like I know. And
yeah, I get that.
They're either going to die and reincarnate into the new thing, or they're going to go on some other vibration. If we truly rise to a 5D, we'll be, the theory is it's not visible to 3. That's the theory. And apparently in 5D, you walk around, you see 3D people, but you don't talk to them. They're of no interest. They're like props, kind of interjectly, like they don't end up becoming part of your stuff.
That's what's happening right now. I mean, that's what I'm saying is that's my experience. And consciousness, we have a fluid adaptive biological computing system. This is what we call the body that we identify with is only a part of the human experience. The energy around us, which is encoded in our astrology. Our astrology, those numbers in the astrology, as I found out, after reading astrology and talking to you, those numbers mean something.
Oh yeah.
And not using your step system, I was able to decode the astrology. And then what is that astrology? I have all these twins that I found around the world.
I know, you're doppelgangers. Yeah.
So basically, I see the human experience as this ball of energy.
Yeah.
And that energy is the higher part of us.
Yes.
And as we get towards the center of that energy, we come down and we get more dense. This is more dense than the area here. And as we go to the center of us, it's the densest part of the experience. And what we as human beings, we've identified with the dense part of the human experience and said, this is the human experience. And that's something that I project or I own. And that higher frequency around us is the highest part of the human experience. And we say, raising our vibrations, we're moving into that field.
Yes.
And
we're paying attention
as we become more.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what I'm experiencing is in that field we have 5 senses, sight, sound, touch, taste, hearing, smell. Those 5 senses are attributed to our biological being that we call biological, the inside. And the brain articulates those. And the other 10 senses, which everybody has access to, but not currently, is external to us, but comes through this part of the body called the fascia.
Yes.
Which is what we've been helping people open up.
Yeah.
And as we open up our fascia, we decrystallize and we start to make it fluid again and flowing, then we gain those senses back. And that's what's starting to happen that I see around the world for people who are taking care of themselves in a particular way.
Yes. Tell everyone what the fascia are, just in case there's people here learning it for the first time, because this is
if you think about fascia, I mean, biologically, if you look at it from a biological standpoint, they'll say It's connective tissue below the skin. That's the most benign aspect of it. It connects everything. So it's around your muscles, through your muscles, connects your nerves, tendons, bones, everything else.
It's like a net.
That's
like
a
a net,
biological.
basically. It's like God put like everything up like a little nets, like a little screen.
Yeah.
Like pinned up your organs here, picked up everything there. There's this net around everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's another way to look at it, which everything exists inside the net and was created from the net. Like if your bones fuse together, that new bone creation is actually in the fascia. The fascia itself becomes calcified and it creates bone.
Wow.
So we were grown out of, and you can remove every body part. You can remove your eye, your ears, your heart, your toes, your bones, your lymph nodes, but you cannot remove fascia. And if you can't remove something, that would be a greater indicator that we are it. So we are actually fascia, and all the science that we know about humanity and about how our bodies work is everything all the science is about what's inside our fascia. But our fascia is highly intelligent, has a brain, an interstitium. It's more intelligent than this brain. And furthermore, it's a crystalline structure. So it's water, silica, sand, and bacteria, which is the same as a quartz crystal. So our fascia is the interface between that field around us. You call it an aura, bioentropic field, whatever you want to call it, and our awareness of that field. And when the fascia is blocked, we lose constant awareness. Now, we may get awareness, like a psychic may go, oh, I have this premonition, but I only have it in these moments and times. As we open up our fascia, we have full access or full bandwidth to that field constantly. And so our fascia is the interweaving of life. So technically, fascia is the field of energy that measures around you, that we can measure with science and through space and Carillion photography and bioentropic scans. That 6 feet around you, which is normally around everybody,
6 feet.
that's your fascia. Part of it you can see and interact with, which is the human.
Interesting. So to me, it's like the hardware of your, basically where you're converting wireless signals from spirit into hard signals for the body. It's kind of like it's an antenna system, kind of like.
Well, yeah. So to dig down on that, most people don't realize it. Calcium is a metal.
Huh? Did not know that.
Minerals.
Mineral.
Minerals.
Oh, they said metal. I was like, oh, I did not know that.
No. But minerals are metals.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Yeah. This is like, we were taught this weird concept of what a human is, and that's why we have such weird ways of understanding or living in this human suit. But so calcium is a metal. That means that at the center of the human experience is the most metal, and that is metal is actually our spine. If you look at our sacrum, it's a triangle. If you MRI it, it's a circle. And it spirals up.
Right.
And then it goes all the way up the spine, and at the top there's a ball.
Yeah.
That looks like a wireless antenna from the 80s.
Yeah.
So we're built like a wireless antenna. Now your antenna on your cell phone right here has that shape. It's metal and it has that shape, but it's flattened. And then what they do, and it only goes about 300 to 500 feet, but what they do is they put a crystal on top of it, and now it goes 5 miles or 10 miles.
Wow.
So on top of our metal structure, that bone structure, we have crystal, which is our fascia, so that we can send and receive. But when our crystal is full of heavy metals, it's dehydrated, it's restricted, that sending and receiving is blocked. And that's where people are at today.
Wow. Now, how do we unblock it? I guess that's the question, because I feel pretty connected for the most part, and I'm not the best eater. You know.
Well, so it's not about your eating. Eating is a component of it, but basically, if you look at the history of humans, you've been around and you've seen me. Like I'm like rubber man, and I'm 80% water. Now, the average person today, if you go test them, they're 60% water.
60.
Yeah, and the major construction of a human is water, silica, sand, bacteria, and parasites. That's what we're made of. That's that gluey stuff that makes us all human. All of our organs, bones, everything is made of those things. And if the major construction component of any project in the world, any building, if the major component is not there, if it's concrete and you take away 20% of your concrete, that structure is not going to function right.
Right. And
so right now, what's happening with people is we're being dehydrated. The Wi-Fi that we enjoy to get this internet signal dehydrates our fascia, 2.4 to 400 gigahertz. also, the chemicals that are in the sky dehydrate us. The chemicals we put in our laundry detergent and stuff like that dehydrate us. They all cause stress and dehydration. And so if we replace the minerals properly, and we have to replace them, the ones who are doing this, that are hearing this, are probably taking the minerals and still not feeling right. It's because you're missing one that the environment's robbing from you right now, which is silica.
Silica, huh?
And if you take 600 milligrams of silica, that's what we're made of. That's the base of us. Then all of the other minerals start to work properly.
Really? It's like
And
glue, huh? It's like the glue?
yeah, absolutely. And basically, Chris, what I'm saying is, how do you get your fascia more open? Number one is you get minerals and hydration, and then you move it. That's the only way I know to do it.
Interesting. And we've certainly seen the movement work. You know, I mean, time and time again in Human Garage Experience, you see it work over and over and over and over again.
Well, look at, we have 50 million people practicing. We have over a billion views, $250 million downloads, $250 million.
Wow.
And we're gaining about 1.5 million a month. It's being used by pro athletes, doctors. It's being used by moms, schools all over the world. It's being used by everybody. Something's working. Like, I'm okay that I don't understand it and I don't know, because I'm going to tell you right now, I used to think I understood the human body or the human experience. I completely do not know. And I'm going to tell you, anybody who says they do is just full of it.
Yeah.
But what I do know is that when I increase the water content in my body, the minerals, and I move my body properly, and then reduce the environmental pollutants around me, I know that I start to have greater perceptions, better sleep. I am able to function better. I get younger. Those are all attributes of being human that have been stolen away from us over the last 100 years in this industrial revolution.
So what about water? I mean, you say, so how do you hydrate? I mean, there's a right and wrong way, is there not? I mean, it seems like,
yeah. First of all, you can't drink any city water anywhere in the world.
Okay, city water, yeah.
And then most of the bottled water you're getting is demineralized.
Demineralized.
So the number one cause of dehydration is the overconsumption of demineralized water.
Wow.
So if you're drinking from reverse osmosis, you are literally killing yourself. Get that shit out of your house now. And if you are, and you can't change right now, then get a stage to remineralize it, and then put life back into it, because that's dead water. And the majority of people have been sold on reverse osmosis because it's cheap, and because the water that they're drinking is so polluted. Now, first and foremost, it's not about how much water you drink, it's about how much water you keep. And in order to keep water, you need to have minerals. But in order for those minerals to stick in your body, you need silica, an element. And if you don't have silica, you can take all the minerals all day long and it still don't work. And that's what's happening to the healthy people over the last 10 years. The healthy people have been getting sick. And it's because they're missing, because the world is not like it was 20, 30 years ago. They're doing things in the world today that our old remedies weren't prepared to handle.
Well, how did we get silica in our diet prior? I mean, what was working?
Pardon me?
What kept silica in our diet prior? Like, what was keeping us siliconized?
Well, I mean, you get silica from eggs, you get it from horsetail, you get it from all kinds of shellfish. I mean, you get it in a lot of places. It's not the silica in our diet. It's the fact that you're breathing chemicals in the sky, one of them called barium, all over the world. And barium is part of those chemtrails that are everywhere. Barium, strontium, aluminum. And barium depletes the body's silica.
Okay.
Specifically. So it's not that you're not, and also too, if you look at a cup of spinach from a nutritional value 20 years ago, average cup of spinach from grown on a farm 20 years ago in America. Today, you have to eat 146 cups of spinach to get the same nutrients.
Wow.
Because we have demineralized soil. We've overfarmed. So we have it's not one thing anymore, Chris.
Wow.
It's death by 1,000 cuts. It's a cascading series of things.
So where does one start then? I mean, where does one start?
I have a simple start. I have a simplest thing people can do.
Okay, tell us.
It's exactly what I did. It's called a 28-day reset.
Reset.
It's virtually free. Pay us $1, pay us whatever. That's a good place to start. do even a 15-minute stress reset, even once a day. Take the stress out of your body, because when our stress hormones are elevated, which everybody is today, we don't digest, process, eliminate right. Our body becomes acidic. All the disease processes go up. You can control that in 15 minutes with a 15-minute stress reset. It's free on our YouTube.
Wow, that's great.
You do that. You take the base minerals, which you can get anywhere in the world. We have a supplement guide you can go download, and it's free of charge. And you can go get minerals in your local market. You can get 600 milligrams of silica through diatomaceous earth, horsetail, or whatever. You can get all the minerals through things like Irish sea moss. Very simple, very easy. And you can add those into your diet right now, and you can start doing maneuvers, fascial maneuvers, or something equivalent. And yoga is not going to get you there, by the way. Stretching a muscle is going to cause more problem right now. Anybody who's stretching muscles is having an acceleration of the symptoms right now. You have to actually move the fascia, get the body mineralized so it can rehydrate, and move the hydration into the tissue. When you stretch and tear your muscles, the water is going into there, and it's not making it into the fascial tissue, which is what's connecting you to your higher consciousness.
It's your antenna. Right. So it seems like if there's to be an evil world dictator's agenda, it's a disconnect from God.
Yeah, because, you know, where does God sit? In my mind, God's out here. Right. God is that connection. God is the source. When those numbers in my astrology chart, we're using your step system, define my spiritual DNA. And then my receptacle is this like an iPhone, like I'm like an iPhone, and I receive information from that, which shapes my DNA.
Right.
The language that does it is your RNA. And the conduit that gets it through to you is energy that's in motion. That's called emotion.
Yes.
And when that energy gets stuck in your body's no longer at ease. And that's the beginning of disease.
Right.
And that's why I say all disease is emotional at its core.
Emotional, huh? Okay. That was I knew a bunch were. I didn't know all of them. You know, I'll give you that. Probably not. I'm not mistaken. I don't doubt that a bit.
Even genetic diseases, people go, well, it's genetics. And I'm like,
genetics,
but genetics need stress. They need stress to activate it. What's the greatest stressor on humans? Emotion. Dysregulated emotions is by far the greatest stressor on a human being.
Well, no question. And even that cancer gene is like, that's the gene that goes nuts when it's bombarded with emotion. You know, like, you know.
Well, that's a funny one for people who have cancer. Cancer, there is no gene that causes cancer. That's why you know it's not actually a genetic issue.
Yeah.
We've been lied to about what our sicknesses are. Our sicknesses are based on what we've done is gradually brought our bodies, we've increased the environmental toxins, stressors. Even the social media that we go to is a stressor for the body.
Stress right now.
We've increased it to the point that our body no longer has the capability to recover. That's where our diseases are coming from.
Okay.
Our diseases aren't something that's happening to us.
It's exhaustion.
It's our body's inability to repair itself.
It's literally exhausted. It just can't do it anymore. Do you find that? But it can be recuperated, right? I mean, it can be brought back with love, care, and all the right.
That's why the fascial maneuvers are growing worldwide, because people are doing that just with that.
Right. Cool.
And listen, I noticed how do you mineralize water? I know somebody put that in the chat there. So look at, really simple. It's a free asset. Go to we have a hydration guide and a supplement guide. Just go download it, read, just make yourself informed. There are simple tools in there on how you can do it. You don't have to pay anybody any money for it. You can do this for $30 a year. You can remineralize your water. And it costs nothing, but it's something that you have to be conscious of.
Oh yeah, definitely. I agree with the mineral part, because anytime I've had any like tests, I've been sick, I was depleted of everything constantly. The levels of everything were down. It was like I never took a vitamin. I'm eating like a pig. So I see it, and I taste the food that has no ingredients. Do you feel that you see an immediate? Are you starting to see the magic happen? Like when people come online, like, I'm noticing that people are starting to create little miracles. They're starting to create little moments. Like the average person is coming across a spark of I don't know how I did that kind of thing. And to some degree, I'm seeing it with people who are not necessarily well fed or whatever. They're kind of being inspired, and then they're being inspired into like now go chase that or whatever. I'm just wondering, are you starting to see people break the line of magic kind of?
Yeah, the way I see it though, Chris, is magic's happening around us all the time.
Yep.
Even to what we call as bad, and they're just becoming aware of the magic that's already there.
Yes.
Like what I say to people all the time is the law of attraction is in action, and it's working for us all the time. But we think that when we get something that perceived as painful, that is the law of attraction working against us. And
Right.
I do not believe that. I believe it 100% works for us. We're here as a soul. We had a plan. We had our free will in heaven. We said, I want to come here and live out this life. And our free will is acknowledgement and acceptance of the plan that we came here with. We're trying to argue about free will. We're down here when we actually made the decision there. And I think it's they're becoming aware of, as people become aware of the magic that's already there, then they learn how to use it. That's really what it is.
I'm seeing people become aware of the magic for the first time, because I used to say stuff like, I'm gonna sound crazy, like, oh no, you don't. They're on page with me now. So that's a huge blessing. But I didn't share with you because you were traveling, but I came to this realization. I'm of the opinion that right now you and I are asleep in heaven, and that this is the dream. We're actually in heaven asleep, and this is the dream. And if this is the dream, well then shit, I know I can make this dream in anything. And when you really look at it, more so even a game, I think this is a game. And it's about goal aim, like growth aim. Like we have a growth aim in heaven. That's what your game is. It's this game of growth aim where you want to grow to a certain degree. You put yourself into this matrix, you dip your own DNA in there, your spiritual DNA, it forms around you, you're put to sleep, and you forget that you're in a dream. I really think that this is that fake to that point.
I believe that. So, I mean, that's the way I process it anyways. And by doing that, it takes it helps take the sting out. Like, for example, I used to be afraid of a lot of things.
Me too.
And I mean, like, oh, I hope that doesn't happen. I hope this doesn't happen. I hope this person there. I hope this person doesn't say this. You know, and I was so afraid and so controlling of my environment that I attracted the things that I feared about constantly to
Me too.
You know, all the way to being incarcerated. You know, like that. My greatest fear was to be confined.
Yeah.
And as I've crawled my way out of there, I believe personally that everything that happens is something I planned and it's good for me. And when I fight that, when I get too headstrong about this is the way it's got to be and it's got to be that way, that's when the universe comes in, or God, however you want to call it, and starts going, oh yeah, you think so? Let's see how you handle that one, dude. Oh, you're not, I thought you got this one. Let me give you a little bit more over here. And that's what I've noticed has been the big change, is accepting the fact that I'm here. Like I don't, like you said earlier, I used your service to understand that I should engage my environment and explain it. And then SiriusJoy taught me that over the years. And now I'm just, okay, when I'm here, I'm like, okay, I'm looking for astrology to explain my environment. And usually, like you said, I can see by the people who've been touching me for the last 2 to 3 weeks what's going to happen today, because I already know all the energies that have been contributing to me.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and actually, I mean, if anything, I think people have been a little insulted with how unupset I was. You know, like they're like, "You don't seem upset." I'm like, "Yep, it's just part of the game." Like, and sometimes I feel like I'm not like playing along enough. Like, oh, dear, like, you know, because I have really was just part of like this is just I'm just convinced now. And if anything, I'm just trying to operate in that field where everyone's taking things so seriously. You know, especially me, things I do so seriously. But I'm seeing those as a reflection of how serious I used to be about it. But you know, the only thing worth getting serious about is your joy.
So, Chris, I can tell you that there's a biological issue that happens in the body that controls that mechanism. Every emotion in the body has 2 outcomes. Like you have sadness and joy, and they're the same chemical released in the body because they both make you cry. You have excitement and anxiety, same chemical, does the same thing. Confidence and fear, it's the same chemical. When my body is not taken care of, when the human fluid adaptive biological computing system that I came here with, the temple that I came here with, is not taken care of properly, and that stimulus comes, I automatically choose the negative option. And so part of it is, as we take care of our temple better, then when things happen, I have more capacity. And we show people this all the time. If you're having a bad day right now, go to our YouTube, do a 15-minute stress reset, and then think about your worst problem. It changes the moment you take care of your body. And so when we take care of the vehicle that we were brought here for, then things that the sting comes off of it. It doesn't change the fact that someone left me or I don't have any money, or somebody quit or whatever, but it takes the sting off of it. And I go, okay, well, there must be another reason why that happened.
9 out of 10 times, what you're afraid of and freaking out about isn't happening now. It's the feeling you're having now that's freaking you out. It's not actually the event. It's like, well, that court case isn't for 4 weeks. What do you a lot of time, but I know, like, they bring that, they project what might be into the moment, get upset. It's like, really, you just want to feel good now. And since you feel good now, you don't give a shit. You don't care. It's okay. It's like, which is how drug use happens. People are like, I just want to feel good now. I just want to opt out of that bad feeling. 9 out of 10 times, you just have to nurture yourself out of a bad feeling, and you're back to utopia, whatever. You allow yourself to go to that state. So it's about monitoring your emotional state, I think, a lot as well. And I'm beginning to realize, like, the future is all emotional. It's all through feeling.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't even know if we're going to talk as much as we're going to feel in the future.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
But here's an interesting thing. We've been trying to talk for months. You and I.
Trying to talk. Oh, I know. Well, I've been okay. I've been psychically with you. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, we've been trying to get together and talk and all this, but the day that it finally happens is right now.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
well, we're moving from 28 to 29 degrees.
Oh, I know. It's your birthday.
Yeah. So why do you think all the forces of the universe and God have kept this conversation from happening today? Based on my chart, what do you think?
I forget what your rising is now. Is it still Taurus 8?
21 Aries.
Okay. That makes it so simple. So, well, I mean, ultimately, now we're in Capricorn, which is a lot of your energy too. It's really
14-degree Cap moon.
Yeah, there you go. So it's like right now, which my solar eclipse sits on, which is one of the reasons why we get along. It's like, it's now about making law for you. It's about making this into law. So there is a point when you make it into law. And the reason why you make it into law is because you build on it. So if you have like a small law, that this will always happen, then you can count on a bigger law that counts on the smaller laws, if that makes sense. So big ear to a small ear to a big ear. So, you are now going to be the example, which you always have been, right? And as you know, you're going to bring this new philosophy to the world, which you're already doing. And with Saturn and Pisces, let's see if that Aries rising. Yeah, I mean, you're about to bring in. So as much as you have been an example, this has only been the foreshadow.
Yeah.
I think what you actually, believe it or not, this has all been practice for this has all been rehearsal up until now.
It feels like that because the 7 Cap is coming in, which is my midheaven, is starting to really show itself.
That's it. So okay, there you go. And you're on it right there. So I feel like, Capricorn, it's funny how many Capricorns I met who went right back to cheating. I'm like, what? You just had Pluto move through your sign and Saturn and the freaking, they even gave you, you even got time off during your transits. Everyone's at home 6 feet apart when you went through your hardship. That's how royally you've been treated. And you're going back to the fraud, like whatever. It's like, what are you doing? Well, Capricorns are about commitment, and like, they don't know how to commit, to hold on to the right things. They've been so trained to hold on to the wrong things. And what your chart says is the only thing you're supposed to hold on to is what your intuition tells you right now in that fascia. Like that you were meant to lead a life where it's like what the fascia says, that is like that is going to be, which means that you're basically giving it over to spirit, which means you become a conduit of spirit, right? Pretty much you're going to be remote controlled by your higher self. But I really think what it is that I think that what we're doing in this lifetime too is I think this is an experience that we, here on earth, you can go and do ayahuasca, you can go down like a fucking trip, and 2 hours later you throw up and you're back to reality. That's what life is. You basically take like an ayahuasca in heaven and you go down for, 30 seconds probably in heaven time, which is 90 years in human time. And one of the goals that we have, I'm quite sure of it, because I've been really kind of opening up on that level, is heaven is still trying to get a hard, hard fiber connection to the reality. They want a bridge between heaven and earth. Like there is not a bridge. It takes you guys like you and I and other people parachuting down, waking up, and then building up from the ground up, because heaven hasn't lost control, but it seems to be its own thing. And so you have to go in and from the inside out, grow it. So what I've learned is that the matrix, this game, it grows from the inside out. And one of the things that we're doing here is we're trying to get the pipeline starting between the higher and lower self. And so I would argue that you are starting to allow your higher self to come in more and play the game from above than from below.
I had an interesting, when I've touched hundreds of thousands of people. So I have this interesting thing that I do in my mind, or how I see things when I touch people. Because what I do is I see the energy flowing through them, and through the chakras, you want to call it, or through the organs and stuff. And I had a flip in it the other day. I was just I'm in the Philippines, and we're helping somebody, and I'm doing work on somebody. I'm helping them. And then all of a sudden, the image in my head was me.
Oh, yeah. Working on you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I get the spiritual significance of it, but the actual experience of it was quite different. I mean, because I vision, I close my eyes when I work with people, and then all of a sudden I see me there. And that was this literally was starkly happened 2 days ago. So that would have been 26 degree Capricorn. Yeah.
There you go.
So
you let a Capricorn stubbornness in you, and you, in the sense that like you've been in power before, and this is how it's doing. This is how it's doing. So you manifested these things that like the old power attacked your new power, through Father Sheriff and all this. That whole thing was the old law and the new law inside of you. But I agree with you. What I would argue is that is you're starting to wake up to the perception of, we go into the unibody, like, so we're only individuals so far up, and then we come into this more global soul, unisoul, right?
Yeah.
And so what I feel like is like, oh, you just popped up to the unisoul level and look down, and so it's all you. From that perspective, it's all you. I really feel that. Yeah.
I would say I have an experience that happens to me quite often, actually, with young kids. I'll just give you one that happened in Dubai just recently. I'm in the elevator going up in Dubai. A family there, they go, "Hey, I recognize you from the internet." The little kid, maybe 9 months or something like that, 9, under a year, but can talk, but not. So anyways, they're talking to me, and then the kid starts pointing at me and saying something, and I'm like, and they're like kind of surprised, and they're laughing, and I'm like, okay, now you're gonna tell me. They said, well, they're calling you, I don't know what it was in Indian, it was in Hindu, and they were calling me Papa, his grandfather, Papa. So anyways, he kept saying it's Papa, and that's what you're talking about. It's because as we get closer to that point, people start to see us as the energy that the good in everybody has, for example, is that collective energy. And that happens to me a lot with young kids.
That's interesting. Well, I do believe that, first of all, if it is just a game and you're plugged into a game, a simulation game to help you for your growth aim, which the game is GAIM. That's the part of my book title, by the way, is winning the game. We're here to win the game, not win, but win it. But like when we win the game, what we're really doing is we're really able to synchronize completely with creation and take over. And if we are all in a dream right now, then yes, even what you're telling me right now, I'm writing your dialogue, Carrie. You're writing what I want you to say. I just borrowed your image from heaven. Like if we're all in a dream, if you're in a dream right now on Earth, you go to fall asleep. Well, every character you played was obviously you playing playing the character of you. We all play each other. So I kind of feel like it's almost like we're in the mind of God. And we're experiencing what it's like to use the mind of God for fun things, and everything is a reflection of who you are everywhere. And so part of the fun I've had recently is like finding the treasure map in the moment, like really defining the small moment where the matrix, whatever you want to call it, is expressing who I am. And what's funny is only I know who I am. So I get a kick out of me, screwing with me kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I know you're pressed for time. Are you short on time? You got to parachute down to
yeah, I gotta go back to Manila now. I got a couple days. I got an event. Got to go a couple days into Manila, and then I'm off to Dubai. We're gonna be Dubai for Christmas.
Wow, interesting. Well, you're seeing the world in such a great place, dude. I look forward to catching up and being in the field there with you. And then I think we should do a State of the Union.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Like somewhere in January, like you and I just make an annual thing where we're like, okay, here's the world, sit down.
Yeah, I really think people need it right now. It's like if they're not waking up right now, if they're not waking up right now, they feel very shook by what's going on. But if they're able to wake themselves up, and And I have experienced it for myself and lots of people around me. It's through the body. If they get there, that's one thing. You can wake up other ways, but if you get your body in gear, then you will see the world a different way.
No question. No question. Because you basically are taking it from the ground up. You know, the problem from the top down. And I think ground up's a lot more hands-on and obvious. So, and y'all, Human Garage is it. Like, if you are interested in being a light worker, I mean, I think the fundamentals of your organization would make you the best light worker no matter what you end up doing. You know,
by the way, you know, one of the things that a lot of people that are light workers or health people trying to help, the biggest problem that they have is they're hard for them to get clients. I mean, it really is, because they don't know how to market themselves. We have the opposite issue. We have tens of millions of people that are looking for people. So we have this new business accelerator. We've been able to build this cool technology, Chris. I mean,
really?
Unbelievably cool technology, but we're launching it here shortly. But basically all the people in the world that want to have help are going to be able to find a coach online or in their area immediately and transact through that. So it's the first time it's a business accelerator. We've we piloted our coaching program last year, put a couple thousand people through it in the pilot. And now we're rolling it out into full scale into this year.
Wow. Okay. We got to talk before you parachute. We have to talk before that talk. I want to share with you what we have working on too.
Yeah.
Does yours work on airline miles? Because I'm going all out, dude. You know, I'm going all out. I'm going to take, I have to say, I have a lot of incredible confidence now because I'm not worried about anything.
Yeah.
Everyone else is worried for me, which has been the hard part, actually. Like, I'm like, no, I'm really okay. I'm not a narcissist. I swear. It's just fine. It's all a game. It's all a game anyways. What are you worried about? But, but thanks, buddy. I look forward to our next step. Let's get together before that. Let's talk technology, because I do have some stuff to share with you too.
Okay.
And, and then we'll do an address together with our audiences. How about that?
Yeah, let's do that.
January. Okay. Well, be well, brother. I love you. Be safe.
Love you too, brother.
Keep twisting where you twist.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. Twisted, isn't it? All right, let's take a little break. We'll come back. We'll do, I guess, another reading if we're not sure. 6 p.m. We have a little more time left in the show. We're going to be honorable. We got about 9 minutes left in the show. We're going to go ahead and give that 9 minutes and not cut out early. And can we just roll commercials, please? So since they can stand up for a minute. We'll be right back. SiriusJoy Academy is now offering gift certificates called Gifted Scholarships in 6-month, 9-month, and 1-year increments. This is the first time we've ever offered this. SiriusJoy is the most accurate astrology service in the world. And now you can stun your loved ones with a spiritual mirror that helps them every day. Visit SiriusJoy.academy to make your purchase. That's SiriusJoy.academy. Available now.
At Hair Intelligence, we believe that every strand of hair has its own voice and needs. By combining ancient wisdom with modern biochemistry, we create pure, organic solutions that work in harmony with your hair's natural biology for optimal hair health naturally. By choosing simplicity, sustainability, and science-backed natural solutions, we help our clients transform their hair, whether it's repair, regrowth, or simply radiant, healthy manes they seek.
All of her products have completely changed my hair. I like to call it magic in a bottle. So if there's one thing that she knows, it's hair.
Before using Karen's products a few years ago, I struggled with various hair challenges, including alopecia, and now I've overcome them, and I've just fallen back in love with my hair.
Get your best hair with clean, organic products that are catered to your hair's unique health and longevity. Get 20% off your first purchase at Hair Intelligence by entering code SiriusJoy20 at checkout. Rediscover your hair's true potential.
Happy holidays! I'm Sanandra, founder of CT Organics. For the past 30 years, our goal has been to bring the healing power of plants into your everyday life with simple, clean, organic skin and hair care made with love. CT makes a wonderful gift for the holidays. Enter code word JOY30 at checkout and you'll receive 30% off any individual CT skin and hair care product.
Happy holidays!
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. SiriusJoy Alive. And we're here to bring the latest and greatest of information when it comes to transforming our life into this new universe. SiriusJoy is predicting a major shift in consciousness next year, and we're on the countdown to it already. I think Gary's one of those people out there that I can rely on, seeing things as truth, find the truth of life. Find out more at Human Garage, by the way. Human Garage, amazing organization, mostly volunteer, and do amazing things to help people with health and health issues. I want to remind you that we will have an Astral Mingle coming up here, playing for you after this on our network. But we also will be moving Namaste Today and the Zodiac Weather to Sundays, which will be at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. And if you are a SiriusJoy subscriber for $3.99 introduction fee, $19.95 a month, you'll be able to see the Namaste Today and Astral Mingles a little early on Saturdays. So they'll be released on Saturdays. Now, we ourselves won't have them fully released by tomorrow. We're catching up to our stuff, but we've got a lot of changes happening too in the Zodiac Weather. In fact, you're going to find that you see changes in us everywhere across the board. SiriusJoy is ready to fly, and we had a lot of things to work through, but we're almost there. Now, we could use your help. Actually, we do need help. We need to, we don't want to have to borrow money from a bad guy to go forward. We want to be able to do this forward thinking and with the financing of our own subscribers and our own participants. There's a lot you can do. We have a lot more coming out, but the first thing you do is sign up for SiriusJoy. Now, if you don't know, if you're a person who has a friend out there who's wigging out all the time, get them the service. You can get it to them as a gift certificate at SiriusJoy.academy. If that's up there right now, let's put the Academy address, guys. SiriusJoy.academy. You can buy a gift certificate for them. It's called a gift scholarship for 6, 9, or 12 months. You just put in the code and boom, they've got free service for that period of time. If you don't know about the service, the magic of it is the text messages, because what happens is they're all coordinated according to your chart and they come at the perfect time. They just let you know it's going to be okay. And that's the brilliance of what this system is. I personally written the first 6 years of those text messages. So if you make it that long, you'll find out how we can go deeper than that as time goes on. And SiriusJoy Academy, if you're not familiar, is our educational arm of SiriusJoy, where we teach classes. Right now, I just finished the Introduction to Step Astrology, which was amazing. It's parts A and B. C and D are coming online in February. There's some other exciting classes that we cannot announce yet coming in February. But we'll have the next 2 versions of Intro to Step Astrology. We also have right now, we have basically the Mastering of Self-Love. And this is a self-driven course, community-based, where we're teaching people how to live in that state of love and how to hold that love week after week. That's a Sunday program. So we really are here, just like Human Garage, to perform the spiritual side of what Human Garage does, to help you get in tune with your energy and get in tune with yourself and your life, and bring yourself to your higher state on your own. Now, I will say that coming out, I'll give some links next week. I'll be on there Monday, so I'm not worried. But my Diamond program is up for new people to participate. That's a high-end consulting where I work with you and your business to launch your business and use astrology and everything I know about the world of metaphysics to help you take off. So looking out for that. If you want to work one-on-one with me, these spots close up very quickly, and it's very powerful work because we will go far together, you and I as a team. And it's as long as you'd like to have that happens from 6, 9, and 12 months also. Everything else with us starts with a 6-month commitment because it takes 6 months to change your life. So if you're not willing to do 6 months, you should wait. Is what I really feel like. You should wait. Now, of course, I'll be here every week, every day, to help you in that type of thing. But this vehicle here, SiriusJoy Alive, is really to celebrate life and to keep you going to the next day and to help you find a new positive outlook for the next day, a new positive approach for the next day. We'll take one more question if we have one. Morgan, we're asking up. Yeah. And self-love. Oh, thank you so much. Christina's saying she loves the people she's meeting in this. So yes. And by the way, I'm forgetting the URL all of a sudden. Can't remember the URL for our questions. Oh, SiriusJoy.shop. SiriusJoy.shop to purchase your questions and access to all these things. All right. From Christina, she asked a question. 21st degree sun. Okay. In Aries. That's nice because that's some mastery of relationships there. You're a master Aries if you don't know. 13 degree Aquarius, I guess moon, right? 24 sun, 13 moon. I guess the moon's missing there. We have a chart in her for 3 months. Okay, great. We'll look at the whole chart. Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at the chart because I love seeing the chart. I'm going to stop sharing this for a minute. Boom. All right, you can bring it up there for the moment. I'm going to also find my version where my little pointer will work. We're looking at a 14 degree Libra rising. Did I not just look at this earlier? Is this the one we just saw? Yeah, that was. Okay. Yeah, I'll look it up here in 3 minutes. I was like, I just talked to this person. It's funny how you recognize charts, and sometimes it's just like you don't know what time zone you're in and what's really happening in that case. I'll look for this chart here. So thanks for we have to do. Okay, so it would be, I guess, Christina. Is that right? Guessing so. Let's see here. Christina. Okay, yes. All right, good. Yay, we're on the same page. I'm just going to actually. Okay, here we go. I want to share the screen. We can just leave it like this, actually. Right, so go in a little bit. No, we can't. Never mind. Hold on a second. So it's live TV. That's the fun part of it. How's everyone's plans for the weekend? It's going to be an interesting weekend, I'll tell you that. And it's the Christmas season. How about that? Okay. Downloads. Here we go. Here we go, folks. I'm proud of us getting this all pulled off. All right. And here's Christina. We'll close this one. Boom. Mary's closed. Christina's on. And it's on with Christina. So the question is, what's the question for Christina? If we can have it one more time. I'm going to go ahead and do my share screen here in a second. Can we get her question up? Let go from my job the first week of December. What do you see as far as career opportunities coming in? Okay, she let go of her job as far as the 1st of December. So she's already jumped. That's typical Aries. You jump without knowing where you're landing. Very good. I think we should have it up now, Mr. Morgan. There we go. Okay, great. My face would be pretty. Okay, great. All right, so here we go. Step 24, Sun. Now, I will say this always, folks. I'm going to teach this over and over and over again. If you don't cover your Pluto, you might as well stop right now. So one thing for your success is that you have got to take time and space every day. Time and space every day with your feelings, step 2. So you need time alone every day with your feelings, every day. In the mornings, how do you feel? How do you want to feel? How do you protect those feelings? Shelter those feelings, because your feelings are kind of a problem in the sense that having Pluto in Virgo, that means that leakage leads to illness and disease. So not being clear on feelings and whatnot. For you, it actually will ruin your trust in yourself. So you don't have trust in yourself if you're not protecting your feelings. And once you protect your feelings, you must then ask your intuition what it has to say. So you need daily conversation with your feelings and intuition every day, time alone, seeing what they're telling you. And then 2 + 7 makes 9. You then take actions, all actions according to how you feel and sense. So you are an Aries, which is a master of action, a master of 9. And you have this wound in you where once upon a time, you tried to manifest something that you weren't capable of. And so you have the wound of not being enough. You don't feel like you're enough, okay? Now, to be enough, you have to have love and hold that space where one day something can happen. That's what the 0 is. One day something can happen. Problem is, if you haven't taken time with your feelings and intuition in the morning, you won't be able to hold the space of one day. So when I'm picking up from you psychically and from running this chart, it's like you're wanting to go what's next, but you're not quite ready for prime time yet because you're not quite operating at your optimum because you're not paying attention to the other voices in yourself. The reason is because your sun is in the 3rd house. So you are super intellectual. Your heart really loves to hear you think, hear yourself think. And your Mercury, look at that. Your Mercury is supposed to be focused on your feelings. So you're in your mind. You don't realize your mind is constantly taking information in from your feelings, and you're not acknowledging them as feeling-based thoughts versus thoughts for themselves. And because feeling-based thoughts and thoughts for themselves are mixing, you don't know what's up, okay? And you don't have the confidence to try anything daring. So you must be mindful of your feelings. Now, because Mercury is at 2 degrees in Taurus, it means that when you ignore your feelings, your self-esteem goes down and your value goes down. When you're mindful of your feelings, your self-esteem goes up and your value goes up. So your self-worth is equated to how much time and space your mind takes on paying attention to your feelings. And money is a big issue here. Again, you have this big failure on your consciousness of once upon a time in a past life, you lost everything because you're unable to hold the love and the faith and the trust till the end. So you have a lot of issues with false starts, things falling apart before they take off, never reaching the abundant point. The abundant point looks like in spirituality, it looks like you've been a long past life in spiritual stuff. You have basically a past life. This looks like this feels like a past life. What's the word? Like pilgrimage. Like you were a person that went to other villages, taught them English so they could read the Bible kind of thing. You were a missionary. You were a very simple missionary in a past life, always on missions that you thought were very big in life. And you are craving to be on this amazing mission of light. In fact, what Charlotte Close says, which is the wife of Chiron. This is Chiron's wife over here. She's the one that actually healed Chiron. Okay. Turns out it was the woman behind the man. And the healing for it is you've got to be mindful of your feelings, mindful 5 of your feelings, and live in a state of spiritual heaven for you to download what is going to truly be your spiritual message. And because Saturn and Neptune here are back on this space, you are really right just now getting ready to say, well, what is the spiritual mission, right? By the way, Mars in 19 clearly says your ego is on a spiritual mission based on faith, and that faith can only come when you respond to your heart. Your midheaven at 6 means that you yourself technically are living a life where you get to understand yourself. So this is a lifetime really of learning about yourself. The more you learn about yourself, the more you actually become accomplished on your mission. In fact, your fortune says when you just listen to what you're thinking properly, when you open up and accept what is that you're thinking, and of course, to think properly, you have to have these boundaries up so you don't have leakage and that sort of thing. It'll be what you have to think and what you have to say. Your opinion is your legacy. So you're here to tell us your opinion. That's what you're here to do. And Neptune here at 2 says you're going to also intuit stuff from your soul. Aquarius at 14 degrees says you are definitely here to be some sort of a messenger of the new age, Aquarius, and that you should focus on the education you can provide people rather than the message itself. So the education will lead to the message. So how can I get clear on my true purpose when it comes to my career? This has been all the clarities. The biggest thing is that you yourself spent many lifetimes where you put relationships before anything else. This is actually a war fight. So you have like a lot of past life with spirituality, a lot of past life as a soldier. Okay, so you spend a lot of time as a soldier, a lot of times married, I'm not surprised, but never married to yourself. Lunar eclipse there. So you got to get married to yourself as queen for this to all happen. So the thing is like, oh, look at this. Very interesting. This is very complicated. What this means is that you tend to focus on everything you know. Well, I know it's this way and I know it's that way. And Spirit goes, we don't care about what you know. Focus on what you feel about yourself. What you feel is what's important, not what you know. Because we want you to spend talking about what you know here, person to person. We don't want you to live back in your knowledge as queen, wondering what can I do with all this knowledge? Although you're going to do something with all this knowledge, you're going to dump all this knowledge actually by means of this yod into a business and into a spiritual mission. So long story short, you are here to take the knowledge of a past life that you have, and instead of sitting on it and claiming how smart you are, to give it away. But to give it away, you must own and operate that you are valuable on your own because you said you're valuable. To feel valuable, you have to really pay attention to how you feel about everything in your intuition. And once you feel valuable within yourself, then you're going to create some amazing stuff. This grand trine, let's see here. This grand trine right here in Earth, this feels like a foundation of some sort. So it feels like you're going to create some sort of a foundation for knowledge. So you yourself aren't emotionally founded yet to be able to house that. But your personal dreams is that your heart wants to share your opinion with the world. That's what your heart wants. You want to tell us what you think. And I think you've been the queen to the man in power. I don't think you've had the opportunity to be in power yourself. You've been when it comes to the home, the family, the ranch, and the school. But your Waldebath is 18. That's where my son is. So I make you feel better. That's good. My son falls right there and helps you with that. But overall, I think that where you are now is really this point right here, Saturn, Neptune. It's now time to put into action all this you sense about your spiritual value. You have a strong spiritual value. You do. Put it into action. Let me see. I want to see it. I don't want to hear about it. I want to see it. I want to see results. So with Chiron here, healing at 22. Chiron's at 22 right now. So right now you're getting rid of any hesitation that you would say something wrong, or that you let the cat out of the bag, or that type of thing. You've got some issues there. I'm just asking Spirit. Yeah. And so, the more you pamper your feelings, the more royal you'll feel. So if you're not getting good treatment, it's because you're not pampering yourself in the background very well. And this is the other thing here. See, you see how Uranus is at 10? 10 is always the degree we're afraid to get past, right? Uranus is always the degree we're afraid to get past. See this, Chiron at 10? There's no accident here. That Chiron and Uranus are both at step 10. Self-worth and holding that self-worth is your biggest problem. And that's because you're not loving yourself enough and you're not protecting that love and shielding it for yourself. But I think you're about ready to get there, especially when Uranus gets into Gemini. So you are definitely here to tell us your spiritual opinion about things and make it your career. But the issue is you've got to really fine-tune your own antenna so you can download your own wisdom and you can have that available for the public. When will you launch it for the public? When Saturn here, see your Saturn? When Saturn gets to right here when Saturn hits your sun. So when Saturn conjuncts your sun, that's when your book or whatever will be ready to be released. When Saturn conjuncts your sun at 24 Aries, that's when you'll be ready. So despite all opinions, Sensei says, publish your book or try to sell it when Saturn is conjoining your sun for the second time, not the first, not the second. All right. I think that's a good little tribute there to this question. We did a good job. Yay. Well, everybody, like I said, we will have, thank you to everyone who purchased a reading today. Thank you for that. Would love some feedback. Give me tell me in the comments how I did for your reading, because I don't have the feedback. That's the hard part. And I'm confident in my work. You all have a fabulous weekend. I'll be back on Monday with this show. Remember, Namaste Today will be on Sunday night. LOL and Astro Mingle will be tonight, and tomorrow night on Saturdays when LOL and Astro Mingle will be. But you'll have some Astro Mingle tonight. We're just changing everything here at SiriusJoy. But you know what? There's only one thing to be serious about, friends, and that is your joy. So I hope you have a joyful weekend. I love you. Our team loves you. We'll see you next Monday. Live, love, be. SiriusJoy Academy is now offering gift certificates called Gifted Scholarships in 6-month, 9-month, and 1-year increments. This is the first time we've ever offered this. SiriusJoy is the most accurate astrology service in the world. And now you can stun your loved ones with a spiritual mirror that helps them every day. Visit SiriusJoy.academy to make your purchase. That's SiriusJoy.academy. Available